Hey, it's Marcus, and welcome to another episode of Between the Bellows, a show that combines large format photography and short documentary stories. If you've been following this series, you know that I really love sharing stories about craft and attention to detail. This episode not only does that, but it also puts a huge smile on my face. Every weekend in the Highland Park neighborhood of Los Angeles, you can take a trip back in time inside the Bob Baker Marionette Theater and experience a show that delights both kids and adults. You watch puppeteers bring handcrafted marionettes to life. They dance, sing, and even wink to the audience. It's one of the longest running puppet theaters in America. And so after watching a show one day, I was curious about who builds and maintains all the puppets there. Fortunately, I was introduced to Kevin Beltz, the head puppet fabricator at the theater, and I spent some time with him backstage before taking his portrait. I had a lot of fun with this, so let's go meet Kevin.
My name is Kevin Beltz, and I am the technical director and head of puppet fabrication here at the Bob Baker Marionette Theater. A marionette is any inanimate object that is brought to life by strings. So there's lots of different kinds of puppets, and marionettes are just a specific kind of puppet. A marionette can be very simple. If you look at it in its component parts, it's some fabric, it's some wood, it's some springs and hinges, and a performer to manipulate those things. I went and saw a puppet performance at the Bob Baker Marionette Theater 5 years ago and never left. It was unlike anything I'd ever seen. The puppet and the performer are like an extension of one another. It's a cabaret style of puppetry, so you see the performer performing. When the performer is really doing a good job, they disappear. And I think that there's something really special about being able to sit in a theater and suspend your disbelief and see really incredible craftsmanship, really incredible performers, and all of the different skills that combine to bring together just like an incredible performance. The puppets that are here, they are generational objects. We have over 2,400 marionettes here, but I like this guy a lot. He was built in the 1950s, and he is a carrot come to life, as you can see. But all of like the little carving and things like that, if you look at like the detail work that's all in here, the joinery is really nice, like these knife joints here. So it's all integrated pretty well and hidden pretty well. Same here. I like this sort of loose hinge here where this can move to the side a little bit. It allows him to sort of have like a step where he sort of like can do like a really sort of wide dance move like that. But yeah, and then he's got like sort of a normal eye blink. And
Can you do the eye blink?
There's no puppet Bible that tells you how to make like a puppet that's going to last 100 years. There's lots of manuals and books and things like that. So this is how you make a puppet, but how do you make something that is just going to like last for ages? That is one of the goals of the work that we do here, is like, I want to be able to add something to the cultural legacy of the theater here. A typical day could be doing puppet repairs, repainting puppets, could be fixing joinery, could be overseeing like a team of fabricators, or it could be fixing an exit light. I really like the people I work with. They really care deeply about this place and wanting it to be successful and continue to be a place that exists. We are very much kind of the last of a kind of a thing here. We all care very deeply about preserving that and propelling it into the future and adding to that legacy. Before I worked at Bob Baker, I had spent the previous decade working in film and TV, doing special effects props and building space guns for Marvel movies and things like that. There's no guarantee that what you work on for months ends up in the movie. I don't know, you could toil and toil and toil, and then like it's never even seen. The difference between, I think, working here and working on those kinds of projects is that I like working on something that I know is going to be around for generations. If I do my job right, the puppets that we're building right now will be around for 100 years. We have puppets in our collection right now that are like 80 years old, doing daily performance. There's not another place like it. Like, I don't know anybody else who's making puppets to do that. They're often temporary items. You build something and you film it, and then it goes in a box, and then it deteriorates away over the ages, and next time somebody looks at it, it's a pile of dust. Bob used to say that puppets would take like 300 hours to make. That means that if I were to sit down 40 hours a week, I would spend 2 months building one puppet. And I think about that a lot. And just the time and the dedication to like really making a perfect puppet that is both beautiful and functional and makes you feel something when you watch it. It is not easy to do, and I think that it is worth the challenge of doing it. Being here on show days and being in the workshop here while there's like field trips going on and hearing kids kind of squeal with delight at like a puppet's entrance or at a particular like routine or trick, it buoys you in a way that I like had never really felt buoyed at a job by.
Okay, so I just got finished talking with Kevin for his interview, and I did it right here. That's Kevin right there. And you'll notice that there's this long row of fluorescent tubes that work as a great key light, but I don't think it's enough for his portrait. So I set up this aperture 300X here with this like parabolic umbrella just to wrap that light around. And hopefully it'll work out for the portrait. So I'm gonna set that up in this doorway back there. As always, I'm shooting on my arca-swiss 8x10, and it's sitting on top of an arca-swiss cube tripod head. I'm using Ilford FP4, and I shot this portrait wide open on my 300mm f5.6 lens. I kept Kevin in the same spot that we used for his interview, except I asked him to stand up and hold the puppet for the photo. All right, in 3, 2, 1. One more, please. Don't move. Just like that. In 3, 2, 1. That's it. So this was such a cool place to visit and literally get a peek behind the curtain. I want to thank Kevin for sharing his story with me, and to the whole crew at the Bob Baker Marionette Theater who let me into their space. If you're in the LA area, check out a show. They have them every weekend. Thank you for watching. If you're new to the channel, please hit that like and subscribe button and share with someone who might like these types of stories. I'll see you on the next episode of Between the Bellows. Thanks.